Hello, everyone. We will be starting the event shortly, so be with us and let us know what are your thoughts about the session in the chat box. We'll wait a few more minutes, then we'll start the session. You can ask your friends to join within 2 minutes.
The Student Ambassador community is a global community of like-minded students that share a passion for technology and for having an impact in the world.
It's an amazing thing for people that both like social gatherings and in the same time they like tech communities.
It's Microsoft helping folks around our campus.
I wanted to improve my skills and I wanted to get connected with people that can help me do that.
Best benefit is the access to MS Learn and LinkedIn Learning as well.
You get an Azure subscription for tinkering around when you join the community and have completed your first milestone.
You also get to be mentored by Microsoft employees.
It's really a very wholesome experience where we're all just trying to help each other grow.
I saw that people were having a lot of fun, but in the same time they were learning a lot of stuff.
Everything that we have in the community is very inclusive and it welcomes everyone as they are.
This is a great place to learn new skills, to connect with people, to create community, to help others.
Students accomplish so much in this community. Not only do they build their own skills and their brand, but they create content, they run hackathons, they get mentorship, and they put that all on their resumes. And they get full-time jobs when they graduate. It's really amazing.
Anything good that's happening in my career probably started with this program.
Be sure to apply for it. You would definitely enjoy being.
It's time we proceed further with our event. And the wait is over. Joy waits on welcome and not time. So a very warm welcome to my friends, juniors and peers who showed up. We will be having a very informative session on Git and GitHub along with a demo on how to create your account and use basic features of GitHub. And do stick with us until the end, as we will be sharing the feedback form during the session, which will get you a certificate of participation from MLSA. With no further ado, let's begin with what's with Git and GitHub. I would also like to welcome Aryan Sinha, who has joined us as the guest speaker. He is a sophomore at IIIT Bhubaneswar and a machine learning and AI enthusiast. You might be wondering what this event is. Why is MLSA written everywhere? Students are really working in Microsoft already. Let me clear all your doubts then. First, what is MLSA? The Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors program is a global group of on-campus ambassadors who are eager to help students and their communities lead in their local tech circles and develop technical and career skills for the future. As a student ambassador, you might find yourself organizing a campus or community hackathon, mentoring other students, or volunteering with an elementary school STEM class. And as they quote, we are the force for good, made locally or globally. It's all depends on you. Now, are you eligible for being an MLSA? Yes, let's see. Ask yourself the question given on the screen, and if the answer to all these is yes, then congratulations, you have a clear signal to apply for this program. First, are you older or 16 or older? You have to be an age of 16 or older at the time of application. Second, you should be enrolled full-time in an accredited academic institution. Of course, we are in a college, so that's checkmarked. Third, you can apply only as an individual person and not a corporate entity. And finally, you should not be a Microsoft employee or current contractor. MLSA encourages students from all academic backgrounds who want to grow their career and tech skills while wanting to make a difference to their communities to apply. If you have not started your tech journey or are still not sure which field of tech enthusiasts you, then don't worry. Some experience in coding or technology is helpful, but we have lots of tools and resources to help you in this program. What does it mean to be a student ambassador and what you get in it? Well, being an MLSA means you will be supported while you build community, making a difference, lead others, learn, and share. You will get access to Microsoft resources and experts to help you on your journey, including exclusive entry into our global student network. You'll connect with Microsoft experts on Microsoft Teams, get a Microsoft 365 subscription and Azure credits, plus other cool things like access to TechSmith Snack Kit and Camtasia. We also believe in preparing students for future career and service to the greater good through opportunities to learn, lead, and share. We offer resources to support your efforts. Go to the program is the opportunity for students to build tech skills on their own through tutorials and guided paths in Microsoft Learn. We offer additional benefits for personal use, campus engagement, and career readiness, all of which can be unlocked by achieving key milestones. Now, what are these milestones? As it turns out, earning these benefits involves doing some pretty fun things. We have 3 milestones for our student ambassadors. That is Alpha, in which we complete a Microsoft Learn path and unlock Azure credits with our Visual Studio Enterprise subscription benefit. You will also receive a certification voucher and a free domain name. Then comes Beta, where you will host an event in your community to unlock event support and resources. Yeah, you see, I'm doing that right now. Well, this effort could include an invitation to join our annual Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Summit. And finally, the last milestone is the Gold Badge, where you get invited to the Gold milestone when you have gone above and beyond in earning your badges and serving your local community. You will become a student ambassador, regional leader, gain access to special events, and maybe get invited to become a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. You can go through the link that we will be sharing right now for more such questions and mail us for in the contact for further queries. Now, how can you apply? Well, you can fill out the program application online, where you will also learn about the deadline date. New students are accepted into the program quarterly. Included in the application are sections for a written sample, technology skills, and a short video introduction. So we can get to know you and why you are passionate about becoming a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So you can't wait to check out. So you can let me show you how it's done. You can go through your browser and search Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. This is what the page looks like. You just need to go and apply right now. I'll show you what all things we get to, what are the questions we get. So here's the application form. So first of all, you get to tick mark the privacy terms. Then you have to read it down. If you are eligible, then only you do accept the privacy terms or not. But I hope everyone is eligible right now, so you can go for it. You agree it and then go on. Here you have to fill up some personal information like your name and then what is your gender. You can also prefer not to say, then your country, your state, province. These are important, so you have to fill it up. And then you have to include your academic institution information, your college name, and the degree you are pursuing right now. And finally, the most important part of the application is the application questions, where you have to demonstrate demonstrate your public speaking skills with a video. And here is the question. So you have 3 questions on 3 domains, that is inspire, tech, and promote. So when I filled the application, I chose inspire because I like talking to people and also engaging with them. So I chose inspire, and then I uploaded a video on how I can inspire my peers to make a change in the community. And the other 2 questions, you have to just write down a paragraph with a certain word limit of how you will teach or promote tech in your social group. Well, and whatever you are uploading in the video, you have to upload it in the YouTube and then paste the link right here. Coming on, you have to give the URLs of your social media accounts. Well, this is not much important, but yeah, it is important. They check out how active you are. So so that it also shows how important for you your community is your connections. So you should fill up accordingly. And last but not the least, you have to fill up some additional information where you add about which technologies interest you, or is there anything you want to share with us. I think this is the question which made me become an MLSA. I shared all those things I couldn't share in those parameters. I shared what I do and how community building is very important for me. That's got me into MLSA. So moving on.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so I have been talking so much about how great MLSA is that I totally went the other way of today's event topic. Let's dive in then. Before that, let me share the link for feedback, which you can fill up during or after the event so I can collect your information and email you your certifications. So to start with, let's know what is Git. Git is an open source version control system that was started by Linus Torvalds who, by the way, is the same person who created Linux. Git is similar to other version control systems like Subversion, CVS, and Mercurial, to name a few. Git is the preferred version control system of most developers since it has multiple advantages over the other system available. It stores file changes more efficiently and ensures file integrity better. So Git is a version control system. But what does that mean, right? When developers create something, an app for example, they make constant changes to the code, releasing new version up to and after the official first beta, non-beta release. Version control system, also known as VCS, are software tools for tracking, managing all the changes made to the source code during the project development. It keeps a record of every single changes made to the code. It also allows us to turn back to the previous version of the code if any mistake is made in the current version. Without a VCS in the place, it would not be possible to monitor the development of the project. There are three types of VCS we generally use. That is local, centralized, and distributed version control system. Let's know more about what version control looks like with an example, which will be explained to us by Aryan.
Hello everyone. So let's begin with version control systems. Version control systems, in simple terms, enable us to keep a record of changes made to a project. It also allows us to get back to an older version if need be so. Let's understand by an example. Suppose you are making this project named My Project and you make a few changes to the code for adding or updating some features. So you would want to have a backup of the original one in case your changes introduce new errors or due to some other reason you have to get back to the original. So here is one way you could maintain that. Just create a copy of your folder every time you want to introduce some changes and add a prefix to the folder name like final, complete, etc. And the list goes on. In worst case and with several difficulties, it might just work for personal projects. But what if you are a team handling some project and you need to maintain the timeline for changes made by every individual? How would you handle this? Seems it's almost impossible, if not impossible, to handle with the method discussed above. So version control comes here to the save. VCS helps us to track and manage changes to a project with ease. There could be several versions of the code and you can access any version, get back to it, etc. Let's understand how it works. There are three types of version control systems. Local VCS. It is a local database stored on your computer. It keeps a track of changes made to the project by a single user, or you can say a single operating system user. Centralized VCS. Centralized VCS was developed to enable developers to collaborate. In centralized VCS, the database of all versions exists on a central server, and developers get files from it, make changes, and then send it back to the server. Centralized VCS pose a few drawbacks. If the hard disk on which the central database exists become corrupted and proper backups haven't been kept, you lose absolutely everything. The entire history of the project, except whatever single snapshots people happen to have on their local machines. Also, if the server goes down for a few hours, nobody could collaborate at all for that time. Distributed version control system provides a solution to both. Here is a picture on the next slide that might help you understand distributed VCS better. In distributed VCS, we have a main or master repository, whatever you want to say it, and each developer has a developer repository of their own. So what's this main repository? This is on the server. It contains all the versions of the code with different sets of changes from different developers. Developer repository. This is what makes distributed VCS different from centralized VCS. In distributed VCS, developers don't just check out the latest snapshots of the files. Rather, they fully mirror the repository, including its full history. Thus, if any server dies and these systems were collaborating via that server, any of the developer repositories can be copied back up to the server to restore it. Every clone is really a full backup of all the data. Now, how does it work? Developers make changes to the code and commit in their repository rather than the main repository. Then after certain tests, those changes are updated to the main repository, or you can say central repository that exists on the server. That's it for VCS. Now let's know more about Git and how to use it and Git commands. I'd like Ayusha to tell you some basic Git commands.
Thank you, Aryan. There are certain commands we start within the Git terminal. I'll be discussing them in brief right now. Aryan shall show us the implementation in the later half of the session. First comes Git configuration. The git config command is a convenience function that is used to set Git configuration values on a global or local project level. We'll be discussing global level configurations for simplicity. Global level configurations is user specific, meaning it is applied to an operating system user. The most important and useful ones being username and email configuration. You can see the syntax on the screen. There are several other configurations like color, editor, etc. We don't need to discuss them here. Then comes starting a repository. First, we use git init. Git init is a one-time command you use during the initial setup of a new repo. Executing this command will create a new .git subdirectory in your current working directory. Then secondly, we use git status command that displays the state of the working directory and the staging area. Okay, so what is git staging? We come to git staging files. The git add command adds a change in the working directory to the staging area. It tells Git that you want to include updates to a particular file in the next commit. There are different options to use this command, which can be seen on the screen. I'll give you a minute to check out these all. Coming on to the next one, Git committing to a repository. Git commit can be thought of saving the current state changes. Git will never change them unless you explicitly ask it to. And finally, Git pulling and pushing from and to the repo. We use Git remote and Git origin. The Git remote command lets you create, view, and delete connections to other repository. Then is git push -u origin master. This command updates the origin repository on server with the changes and commits in local repository. Then comes git clone. Git clone is a git command line utility which is used to target an existing repository and create a clone or copy of the target repository. Finally, we do git pull. This command is used to update the local repository with changes already made to the remote repository. What is GitHub? GitHub is a code hosting platform for collaboration and version control. In simple words, GitHub is made up of Git and Hub. As you say, Git being the local VCS, many other users have similar VCS, and the hub or home to all these is GitHub. It is a free, open source distributed version control system tool designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. Well, we have established that Git is a version control system, similar but better than many alternatives available. So what makes Git so special? Git is a command line tool, but the center around which all things involving Git revolve is the hub, that is github.com, where developers store their projects and network with like-minded people. The best part is each user on GitHub has their own profile that acts as a resume of sorts, showing your past work and contributions to other projects via pull requests. We'll share the link to a learning module to know more about Git and GitHub. And now, is there anything you can take back? Oh yes, That is, the GitHub Student Developer Pack is here. It provides tons of things that you can use for free if you are a student. Free domains, subscription to Canva Pro, StreamYard, and the list goes on. Best part is you can just log in with your student email ID to avail the benefits. But if you are already working on GitHub and you want to avail those benefits, there's always a window for you to apply for this pack. You just have to enter the right details and upload your student ID card, which you have gotten from your college or wherever you are studying, and done. Let me show you how you can get it. First of all, I recommend you to check out what is GitHub. Then this is the GitHub page. When you go up, you just sign in. If you already have an account, you just sign up, and then you go in. Well, right now I have my account, so I'll just go and log in with my account. But to show you how GitHub is, but you have to create an account and then you can continue. Okay, so you can see this is my GitHub account. Here, these are the repositories that I have worked on or created, and any activity that I have done will be available here. These are the people I follow, and I can see all the activities they have done within the past few days here. If they follow anyone or start any repository, I can see everything. Then here are some trending repositories that you can check out and contribute. Pull request, as I mentioned earlier, are all those contribution you have made to other repositories. And issues are some issues. In projects you find some issues. You create issues, and all the issues will be displayed here. Then here comes the notification. Here you get all the notification related any projects you have worked on or any projects you get a request to work on. All these comes here. And this is your profile. You can go check out your profile. Exactly like any other social media, you get a complete profile of yours. You can add your details right here, add your picture. This is a special README file which you can add by yourself. And then comes the repositories. Here is the repositories. You all the folders that you have created, the projects you have worked on comes right here. And these are the recent projects I have been working on. And this is your heat map on which you work. And let me show you how you get GitHub Student Developer Pack. You can just search GitHub Student Developer Pack. And here is the page. Well, I have Student Developer Pack already, so it will direct me to the place where I have already gotten. So let me go to my private browser and show you what is the page. Wait. So yeah, this is the website, and you just have to sign up for Student Developer Pack. And now you get two options. You can apply for it as a student or teacher. Right now, most of us are students, I suppose. So you just have to click on get benefits of students. Then you have to sign in with your account. I think I'll sign in with my account right now. And see, this shows that I have already submitted one request and yeah, it is approved. Well, generally it takes 2 to 3 days to get approved. That is the max. But right now, see, I have got my, I applied and I got my approval within an hour. So it happens that if you have uploaded your ID card to be get verified, it takes 1 to 2 days, or else you get the benefits as soon as possible. And there are so many benefits to this to GitHub, because see, I am a developer and I use GitHub Canva Pro. Then you can also avail name.com and many other tools. You can also have a Visual Studio subscription and so on. Continuing. I've been talking so much on GitHub, but what will we really use it for? Just uploading my code on the internet, exactly like posting pictures on Facebook, won't get me anything, right? That's where open source jumps in. And before I tell you why you should contribute, let me tell you a little more about open source. Open source is a term that originally referred to open source software, OSS. Open source software is code that is designed to be publicly accessible. Only anyone can see, modify, and contribute to the code as they see fit. Open source can become a movement and a way of working that reaches beyond software production. Contributing to open source is a really great way to get real-world software development and other domain experience from the comfort of your home, even if you are a beginner and don't have a job in the industry. You don't really need to be an expert to get started with open source, and you are going to get all these benefits of what it is like to work in a team, collaborate with other people, and work on large code base. Some of the best ones to start with are here. Number one is Hacktoberfest. It is a really popular open source program that is hosted by DigitalOcean, where you need to submit 4 or more quality pull requests, and you will either get a chance to plant a tree or get a limited edition t-shirt. Then comes the Google Summer of Code program, where organizations apply to Google, and after the organizations are selected, then the students apply to the organizations. It is a paid program with a stipend of up to 3,000 USD. MLH has launched a program known as MLH Fellowship, which is powered by GitHub, which is a 12-week remote program where students collaborate on open source projects. It has mainly 3 tracks: software engineering, open source, and production engineering. Then comes Google Season of Talks, which is a new program by Google where technical writers and open source organizations come together and work on open source projects. The technical writers write documentations for open source organizations and also get paid by Google. The Outreachy is also a really great program for students that aims to support diversity in open source. It's short of a remote internship of 3 months, and only a handful number of students are selected across the world. The Outreach internship project focuses on programming, documentation, project marketing, etc. It is a paid internship in which you get paid an amount of 7,000 USD. And so many more such opportunities to explore. As we are already stepping into the professional world, knowing the benefits for everything is a must. There are so many benefits of open source, like lesser hardware costs, high quality software, no vendor lock-in, abundant support, to name a few. You get to experience the workflow of the professional industry when you will be working on a live project. You get a stipend and cool swags for participating in open source programs, as many organizations have been promoting the practice of contributing to open source. You get to build your community and increase your connection, which will helps you widen your network. And the best thing is no necessary coding required. You can start with pointing out that, hey, your web page looks unarranged in the phone view. Check it. And yeah, that's a contribution too. Okay, so I have done enough talking. Aryan, can you take over, please, and explain to our friends some basic features of Git and GitHub?
Hello again. So, what's the benefit of knowing how something works, why it is used, but you can't make it work? So, let's try using it with a very small project. Let me share my screen first. I hope my screen is visible. Ayusha, could you confirm?
Yeah, your screen is
Okay.
visible.
Thank you. So we have this very small project. Let me show you. Yes, this is our project. We are learning Git and GitHub, and it's a small HTML document. So we would like to make changes to it, add it to our GitHub profile, and Ayusha will then make some changes to my project, and so we would be contributing on this project. So let me show you how you can do it. So first of all, we would make a GitHub repository. Go on GitHub. Here you are. Yes. So we make this repository. Description. We make this public repository. Public and private depends if you want everyone to be able to access your repository, and private if it is only for you and your collaborators. README file is something that tells whoever views your project regarding the project, who has helped you make the project, and different features of your project. You don't need to know about Git ignore and license for now. So we won't do anything now. We'll just create an empty Git repository. So here we have it. Now we need to make we have a Git repository on our GitHub profile. Now we need a repository on our, see, look, this is an empty folder, but we need to make it into a repository, Git repository. So how would we do it? We will do it by, okay, let me show you first what is Git bash. You need Git bash to implement Git in you. So what is Git bash? Git bash is something that it is an application for Microsoft Windows environments which enable your system for Git command line experience. In simple words, it lets you use Git in your command line. So you can download it. Just Google Git bash. Sorry. Git bash download, and one of the first few links should get you there. Yes, Git downloads. We'll also share some links that would help you with Git bash down with basic features of Git and Git bash, and my friends would share in the chat box. It would also be shared on PSOC Discord server. So, and we will be available if you get some issues. Now, so when you download Git bash, when you right click in any folder on your computer, you get this link here, Git bash here. So this is a command line experience, and so you can see the location, Git session MLSA and GitHub session. Now we need to convert this into a GitHub repository, or rather you can say Git repository. So the command for that is git init. So what does this command do? Git init is a one-time command. It lets you use during the initial setup of your repository. Executing this will create a new subdirectory named .git in the current working directory. So you can see .git folder has been created. This is the folder that manages different versions of your project. Now, so what is the next thing? Next, we add our project to this folder. So let me get back. Yes, this is our project. We add this file to our project, to our folder, in which, to our, rather I'd say, to our repository. So we have this file added. Now, the next command we will try is git status. So what is git status? It is like a weapon. It gives you all the information regarding the files added to the staging area, the files which are not on the staging area. So this, what does it say? It says on branch master. Branch you can see here too. No commits, untracked files. Untracked files tells it this, there is a here it you would be getting a list of files, and it would tell you which files are not tracked. That means that you need to add these files to the staging area for commit. So we would use git add next. Git add. So what does this command do? Git add and the file name. This command adds any change in the working directory to the staging area. It tells Git that you want to include updates in this particular file to the next commit. However, this doesn't have any significant importance, but you need to do it every time you want to commit the changes. So we did. Now let's check status again, what it has for us. See, now we have here it was red, now it's green. So here it was untracked, now it is tracked and it is ready to be committed. Now we would commit this file, commit the changes currently. So git commit. I would explain first, let me write and first. So what is git commit? This git commit command is like save for any file with a few differences. When you save a file, it's just saved. But when you commit in any version control system, so you are this version of your project is accessible at any point of time in the future. So you just need this first commit, the message of your commit, and there is a commit log. So you can access this version of your project anytime in the future. You would be if you get your folder, if you get your repository to this stage, it would be showing this. So your project would be like this, just as it was here. And what is this -m used for? -m means dash message. If you use just git commit, this would redirect you to another editor where you would need to give the message. So this is the preferred way. So we would commit our file. Now we have, so this is our local repository and it is set. This is, we have this repository on our GitHub profile or server. Now we need to link these two repositories. Okay. So what is the command for that? So the command, so how it is established? This is established using git remote command. Let me write the command first, then I'll explain you. Git remote add origin, and we would use the link of this. You can copy the link from here or here, anyone is preferred. Both are the same links. Yes. So git remote add origin and the link of the repository, link of your repository on the server. So here, this is the local repository, or you can say git bash is opened in your local repository, and this is the link of your repository on the server. Git remote is a command that lets you create, view, or delete any remote connection that it has, your local repository has on the server. And this add command lets you, add is an option in git remote command. It lets you add new connections to your local repository, and origin is a name that you give to the remote repository. So this is our remote repository, let's assume for now. And this origin is like a pet name that you give to your remote repository for using it later on for any sort of work. Why do we so, and using origin for this one is like a convention. So origin is generally given to the central repository, origin pet name. It's just like a habit, everyone does that, so we do the same. So this is the origin. Like if I press enter, this would be the origin repository or origin remote connection, and this is our local repository. So let me do that. Yes. So these two repositories are now linked. Now let me refresh. Okay, they are linked, but it doesn't show any this Git and GitHub project here. So what's missing? Yes, we didn't push our commits yet. Push means that we update our remote repository using our local repository. What does git push mean? It means that we update our remote repository using our local repository. So we will use git push. Okay, we have some error. What is this? Current branch master has no upstream branch. Okay, so this error shows that your local repository doesn't have any upstream branch. So we could have several remote connections, like we gave this remote connection. This is our one of our remote connections, and we could have any connection to any remote repository with different names. So we need to set that whenever we use git push, which remote repository do we want to push. So we would use this command, git push set upstream means that which remote repository you want to use when you use git push. And origin is the name of the remote repository. See, I used my pet name. What if I could have used git rm, like say I could have used my name instead of origin, so I would use origin here too. And this is the branch I'm working on, git push upstream origin master. Okay, let's go with it. So we are done with it. Now let's update this. So we have our code here. It's simple. Now let's check if it is working, if we make small changes and it works. Okay, so this was our initial file. Now it's yellow. See, this is yellow. Now suppose we make this green. Okay, yes, so this is now green, but if we refresh here, okay, it's still yellow. Why is it? So we haven't updated our file yet. So as I said, every time you make, now we will, how does it work? So we have to follow these steps again every time we make a few changes, and we need to update the remote repository with that. So first of all, we will add add the file in which we made changes, .html, sorry. Now we would commit and add a message for our commit, new commit, or suppose change background color. Now we would push it. So now you don't need this entire statement, you only need push because upstream is already set. So git push. Let's see, it was yellow initially, now it's green. Background color is green here too, so it is okay. Now there is actually another way to link the two local and remote repositories. You actually don't link using that, it's git clone. You actually don't link, rather you just import that the remote repository. So let me show how we do that. It is a much simpler way, and many people prefer that. It can be used to access any repository. See, this is my repository, but I could use another repository. But for now simplicity, we will use this repository itself. So suppose we want this repository. Let us delete this one. We don't have this. It is actually open where, and so all our users. So we delete. Just a second, let me see. Okay, this is also. We don't have that. Now we want our remote repository. We want to bring in our remote repository. How would we do that? So let's open git bash in the folder again where we want our remote repository. We want to use our remote repository as a local repository. So, and the command for that is git clone and a link to the remote repository. So we would use this command. So let me explain. Git clone, it is a git command which is used to target an existing repository and create a clone or copy of that. Using this has a major advantage that you skip all the initial steps of connecting, creating remote connections and other stuff. So we will do that. Those are already done when you use git push, git clone. So we have this remote repository. So we will just get to that directory, cd So we get the status. We already get this here. Now we should see if we make any changes and it gets updated there too. Again, just a small change. Let's verify for now. Suppose we want to make it red this time. Okay, we have it, and we would follow the steps for every edit as I already told you. You have to follow 3 steps. Let me show you status again. We have this change. Git add HTML. Now we git commit. Red. Okay, let's view it again. See, we have this red. Now you saw how you could use Git as for your local projects. Now, what if you want to get your friends to contribute to or help you, or if your project is a big one and you want your friends to help? So there's another. So this is how you would do that. You go to the project on GitHub. You get to settings and go collaborators. You add your friends. Like I would add Ayusha here. So Ayusha would get an invitation. So awaiting Ayusha's response. So now Ayusha would show you how she would contribute to my project. Ayusha, are you there?
Yeah, let me show you how I use GitHub desktop with this. You stop your presentation.
Yes.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it will.
Okay, so you can see this is my GitHub profile. I go to the home page and I go to the notifications if I've got any. See, Aryan has given me to join his Git and GitHub. So I accept the invitation right now. And you have seen that he used Git bash to do all those changes and push it, and it was so so hectic. At least for me, I have also done that, and it was. So I got a easier way. So right now, see, he had the file in his computer, and he uploaded it in GitHub. Now, how will I get it in my laptop? Obviously, I'll download it. So we do that by fork. So I can fork it here, but now I want it in my PC. So right now I can download the zip file and I can download all the code and then work on it on my VS Code or any code editor you have. But right now I'll open it with GitHub Desktop, and I'll open it with GitHub Desktop. So see, it's launching. It shows me clone a repository. That is what I'm doing. I'll clone it to my laptop. Well, you can also download GitHub Desktop. From here. It will automatically show what is your Windows, or what if you are working in a Mac or you are working in Linux, anything that you are working, it will show automatically and you just have to click. So right now I have the repository here. So how simple is it? Let me show you. I can directly open it, open the file from here. And check out. You can see the code is already here in my code editor. And see, he did the thing that I don't like. He did the box red. Let me check. I'll correct it to yellow. And it's done. But let me show you in GitHub what it was. In GitHub, it shows it is red. The last change what Aryan did was he changed it to red. Now, right now, I don't like the color, so I'll change it to yellow, and I have done it here. So I go to GitHub and see it shows whatever I have changed, it shows in red, and whatever I have deleted, it shows in red, and whatever I have done, it shows in green. I can add comments here, but right now I'm not going to do it. I'll just give a name. I changed it background to yellow, and I can add some description, but right now I'm not giving any. Okay, I have to commit it. So yeah, I have committed it. Now I just only have to push to origin. And here you can see after I refresh it, yeah, it is pushed right now. And we used to do so many comments, so many commands, but right now I'll just refresh it, and you can see it has turned to yellow. So you can see how easy it was. You can just change it in your editor, go to GitHub desktop, and you can see all the edits, and you can directly commit to master or any branch you are working in. So we'll move on with the presentation. So here's something that many of us used to do, doing little to small changes in any of the repositories we created just to show off the all green heat map. Don't do that. It looks cool at first, but it takes us nowhere. Let GitHub keep track of your actual contributions to open source. Also, you can understand this right now. I just explained it. How we could forget about the heroes of all, that is GitHub desktop to you. All as beginners, you wouldn't love to hassle so much with Git and its commands. Long story short, you can create a new repository and any local repository, clone any repository from online GitHub. But I would still advise you to learn Git first, and then when you get a hold of it, you can jump to the easier one. With this, we have come to the end of the session. We would love to entertain any queries. You can switch on your mic and ask, if any, from the audience side. Meanwhile, if you like the event, leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to fill up the feedback form. That is important for your certification to reach you.
Ma'am, ma'am, which language do you prefer us to which language should we study for the GitHub? Which is most important?
Well, you work on different projects. So it depends on the project you are working on for the importance of language. Like if you're doing web development, you will only use HTML and CSS, right? And if you're doing programming, you do use C++ and C. So that is how it is. So that depends on which thing you are working on. Anyone else? Did I clear your doubt?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hello, Didi. There was a part about the staging area or the staging of the files. What is that?
Look, staging files is just a way to add those changes. Suppose you make many changes to your project. You have hundreds of files, and you have made around 30 or 40 changes. But for now, you are satisfied that I want to include only the first 5. You have only 5 changes that you want to add to your project that is working on the server. So you would use git add for only those 5 files rather than for all those 100 files. You get it? Suppose you are working on a big project and you have hundreds of files and you are satisfied for 5 of them, and hundreds of them have changes since the past commit. So you would you would use git add command for only 5 of those files for which you are satisfied and then commit rather than using git add for all. So if you didn't have git add, suppose, so whenever you commit, all of the changes that are available in your system available in your local repository at that point of time, all of them would be committed. But when you use git add, you have this opportunity to have a control over which of the changes you want to commit or you want to upload on the server.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Anyone else? I think that's all. So thank you to each and everyone for you for being here with us today. I would especially like to thank you guys. You have been such a wonderful audience. Then there are many amazing seniors like Abhishek Jaiswal Bhaiya and Nirali Didi who are currently gold ambassadors for the guidance. And last but not the least, my support team who helped me plan this event and organize it so successfully. Do mention what kind of session you would like to be conducted next. With this, I wish you a good day ahead. Thank you all. You can leave.